Okay, Jai Bala of Cash the Chaos is also with us on the show now. Jai, afternoon. After a relentless run, markets have started pausing, giving up a bit of ground, but not too much. The Nifty today also went down to levels of 20,967, and from there, it's rebounded about 50 points to climb back above 20,900. So it's really not giving up any ground whatsoever. What's the market construct looking like from here?
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show, Rima. See, the markets are due for a pause, at least, if not a reversal. But the banking index is going to be the key. But when it comes to the Nifty, if the momentum were to carry the markets beyond 21,300, the medium-term reversal that I've been talking about, that may not happen. But the highs that the markets have registered so far is well exactly within the parameters that I've mentioned. But we need a breakdown. But so far, we don't have one. And we'll watch the Bank Nifty really closely. If the banking index were to break below 46,507, that will be the first step for the alert for a reversal. But the medium-term reversal for the banking index comes below 43,230. And for the Nifty, the near-term supports are about 20,500 to 20,200. So watch these key levels that I've outlined here.
Okay, all right. Well, that's on the indices then. But Jay, this is a stock-specific market, so you must be having a couple of stock picks for us. Give us the list as well as the levels you're looking at.
Yeah, Godrej Consumer, from the FMCG space, seems to be in a weakening trend. That's a conditional short for me. I'll wait for the stock to break below 1010. If the stock breaks below 1010, that's probably confirming a short-term reversal, and a price objective close to 900 is the potential, and a stop about 1065 would make sense, which is today's high. So that's the stock pick I have for on the short side, and I'm not too convinced. ICICI Lombard is potentially ambivalent long, so watch that space. And I don't have anything else which is convincing for me. So so more convincing is Godrej Consumer on the downside, but a reluctant long on ICICI Lombard.
Jay, hi, good afternoon. But the PSU move has been quite spectacular, right? And not just banks, but everything across. Defense stocks perhaps have been a little quiet because they had their day in the sun. Actually, not days, but months in the sun, in an uninterrupted way. But there's railways and so much else in the PSU space. Have you looked at the index itself, the PSE or the Nifty PSE index?
Yeah, more than that, it's been the PSU bank which has been doing pretty well rather than the Nifty PSE. So Nifty PSU banks, I've been saying they might still have a little more higher highs to come through, but like you pointed out, the PSE index has got a relentless run past 73,700, and the structure is pretty similar to the PSU banking index. Both of them might have a sharp pullback, but it looks like they still have at least one more high come through after the pullback. So I would expect the Nifty PSE index to drop somewhere close to, say, 68,500 and 6850, and the Nifty PSU banking index drop somewhere close to about 5100, and then come back to the recent highs it's registered. So it's an unfinished move for both these indices, but a sharp pullback could be due for both these indices.
Jay, I wanted to ask you about two other asset classes. One is on Bitcoin, which is the new age investment, so to call it, and it's been a big outperformer this year out of nowhere, actually. What's your view out there? And gold, the traditional asset that you normally turn to, you don't believe it's going to shine from here?
Yeah, see, gold was promising, but unfortunately, it's had a key reversal week, and it spiked to a new all-time high, and then gave up that break. That kind of move is actually an indication of an exhaustion, and a drop at least to 1810 is coming for gold, and somewhere close to 21 for silver. But if that doesn't happen, and gold just tries to take out the spike high registered last week, that'll be extremely bearish for the medium to long term. So, I'm not anticipating that. I'm anticipating a drop to 1810 and then resume the bull run for the yellow metal. So that's the theme I'm working with. When it comes to Bitcoin, I had pointed out in my prepared notes that that profit booking potential is likely around 46,000 mark, and the profit booking has started coming at about 45,000 itself. And yesterday's or day before yesterday's drop of 8% is saying that profit booking leg has already begun, and we're probably going to see a drop somewhere close to 33,000, or maybe if it's a deeper drop, probably to 30,000. So the key takeaway from Bitcoin's drop is probably indicating that the recent risk on that we saw may be coming to a halt, at least temporarily.
Sorry, missed the level on Bitcoin.
Yeah, 33,000 to 30,000. The key takeaway though is the risk on that I pointed to an end of year rally that might be at short-term risk.
Okay. By the way, Jay, did you sort of comment on look at PI Industries, and we were highlighting that earlier. The entire agrochemical, specialty chemical space, of course, is something which is bombed out. But the one name which has managed to escape that and has done well generally, although, I mean, if you look at it from a 2-year point of view, I mean, the stock's not done anything since mid-2021 or so, broadly. But it had a huge run on the upside. It's not corrected that much either, but now it's down 10%, 10.5%, and it's the fall is becoming larger as we speak. Any thoughts? I mean, if you're able to pull up the charts of PI Industries, 3472 on this one, Jay.
Yeah, see, it's probably clocking a medium to long-term top, and if you look at the move from 2022 high, we call in technical parlance as a ending diagonal. But the structure right now is pointing to a possibility of a drop for PI Industries somewhere close to 2,300. So that's quite a steep drop even from current levels. So the new highs that clocked from the 2022 lows actually happened in a toppish fashion like this mentioned just below. So the immediate support for the stock is at about 3270. If that were to break, we are looking at 2,300 for the stock.
Jay, do stay on. We need to slip into a very short break. As we do that, we get you some important voices.
On the technicals just earlier before we took that break. Jay, any other names which look interesting to you, both on the long or the short side from here?
Yeah, some of the other stocks in the chemical space, Atul Limited, that might be another stock that's interesting for me. But it's conditional once again. I would like a break below 6,700 before concurring that the November low that we saw for Atul Limited is not the final low. But so far, momentum is pointing to the probability that it's not clocked a final low. So if it were to break below 6,700, further negatives are likely to kick in. So that's another interesting stock for me.
Jay, thank you very much for joining in. The stock on our radar right now is Canfin Homes. Yesterday, remember, the stock was down close to about 5%. The fear in the market was that there was another case of money getting